What's going on, everyone? This is LFC Transfer Room, and are we really as knowledgeable as we say we are? Do we really know what we're talking about? So today's stream, Grading the Gurus, that's what we're calling it, where we're going to actually look back at my Premier League predictions, Neil, Kev, Jay's, and the entire team's Premier League predictions to find out how stupid we are, how brilliant we are, probably how stupid we are when trying to predict what's going to happen in a Premier League season. So before any season starts, I issue out a Google form and I send it to everyone that's involved in the LFC Transfer Room, and we ask the team to predict champions, top four, relegated, player of the season, young player of the season, top scorer, signing of the season, flop of the season, surprise package, manager sack race, and what will Liverpool win. Obviously, we have some internal optimists. Matty's not here to defend himself, but we all know he says we'll win everything every time. And then we've got some pessimists, and I'm not going to name names, but, you know, it'll come out during the fullness of the stream. Neil, can you remember what you put? Are you nervous about what you've put?
Not really. I seem to remember I had Fulham going down, and I probably predicted us to win it. So yeah, I'm interested. I've forgotten completely what I'd done, so I'm interested to see.
Kev, what about you? I mean, the font of all knowledge, surely you must be like, oh yeah, I know what I put.
It's a bit like when my missus tells me to go to the shops and get something. It was quickly forgotten about as soon as I picked up and looked at the list. I can't remember anything to my knowledge as to what I've put. I hope I haven't made an absolute silly fool of myself, but if I have, who cares? It is what it is.
It's what prediction, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. But no. See what
I'm trying to find you in the list.
Good.
Oh no, there you are. You don't usually know. There we go. Anything shocking? Chelsea top four, maybe. Jay, 2 weeks in a row. Jesus, we're getting used to you now. I was the Arnie Slot impression coming along. Are we ready to debut yet? You're on mute.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's probably should press mute on your mic and that happens. No, I haven't heard him too many English interviews yet, lad, but as soon as it's ready, I'll let you know.
Just putting the pressure on.
Yeah, just a bit.
James had Everton going down. Well, I think I did, but we'll get to going down. We're going to start with champions. Now,
spoil the show, Paul.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. Champions, 52.2% got it right of Liverpool contributors, 23 saying Man City. 13% said Arsenal, so 3 of us said Arsenal. 8 said Liverpool. Now, of those that said Liverpool, it's one of us in here. There's one of us optimists in here. JK.
Was it me?
Eternal optimist. Liverpool to win the league. You, Matty, Drew, Tico, Daniel, a few others. Yeah. Defensible position. What do you think? New midfield? Yeah, of course we're going to win the league. Yeah, easy.
No, that was me and a Matty. That definitely me and a Matty. We went far off, lad. 7 weeks ago, we all thought it. So, shit happens, unfortunately.
We're going to blame it on working nights and just the fact that you were sleep deprived.
I was right up until 7 weeks ago. We won the league 7 weeks ago, lad. If it finished then. If COVID doesn't happen, we won the league.
Kev, you said Man City. Neil, you said Man City. I think I said Man City. I can't see me. I can't have said that.
You said Wolves.
Wolves still in the league. Did I say Liverpool? I said Liverpool. I'm as bad as
the optimist.
Well, I'm blaming Matty as well. The eternal optimism.
Well done, Neil.
Well done, you too. and 52% of LFC Transfer Room contributors getting it right. It's all right. We're going to get to the next point. And this is where one of my crazy things came off, which is top 4 predictions. Now, for top 4 predictions, I'm giving myself this. I said Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Villa.
Did you?
Hold it.
Shout that, lad.
Well done, lad.
I did it mainly because of Emery and what I thought he did at Seville and what I thought he could do at Villa towards the end of the season. I thought because they had a big run towards the end of last season, so I went with Villa because I didn't think Chelsea would do out. I didn't think Man U would do anything. So it was between sort of Spurs and Villa, and I thought Villa might do better.
Smashed it.
Neil, you went Man U top 4, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, United.
To be fair, they come off a season of finishing top 4 and won the League Cup, I think, and reached the FA Cup final. So they made a few signings and got worse.
It was just the action. I love going.
Well, you know, they have all the greatest kids in history coming through at the moment, don't they?
Well, they'll tell you they do. But...
Yeah. Now let's see. Is anyone? If let's see if what Mr. Kev's put. Oh,
Everton.
same 3.
Chelsea, I reckon I've done.
Chelsea. You went with Chelsea.
I did, and I think it was mainly due to the amount of quality they have. The problem is they're all individuals; they don't play as a team. And I thought Poch may have got something for them and got them in some kind of playing form. Like,
what do I know? I'm shocked he's going.
No, I'm not, because as I said the other night, this is the new model, and they need a yes man, and there's not many people who are left who are going to willingly go there and be told these are your players, get on with it. It's not a way for the team to be run. Whether that's different with American sports and it's easier to do, I don't know, but it's a bit of a farce and a bit of a circus at the minute. And it's not what. It's a similar model to what they had under Abramovich, but it's now the chairman getting involved and playing football manager with the team, which not many managers would like that kind of interference. So for me, it's a farce, it's a circus, and until something happens with him, this is the new Chelsea for you. So longer it may continue for me.
Now, Jay, you also said Chelsea. Do you think it's De Zerbi that's coming in at Chelsea? Do you think he'd do better? It's just a hunch, isn't it? If he's going, I mean, there's a few moving around now. Tuchel's available, maybe he to go back to Chelsea. De Zerbi seems like a sensible one for Chelsea to me.
It's one of them. It's like what Kev just said. I was reading today that the owners want that much of an input that they might even have like a hand in selection in like the team selection. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a yes man that big a yes man. Do you know what I mean? So no, I don't think De Zerbi's the right man if that's the case, because he's already threw his toys out the pram a few times at Brighton about ambition and stuff. So no, he seems quite vocal in the way he thinks. So no, it'd probably be another catastrophe.
David Moyes is available, isn't he?
Potter probably would have been a good one, but they've already destroyed him. So I don't know. I don't see anyone working there under that model under Bowley. Time will tell. Long may it continue that failure anyway.
Now, 3 people put Newcastle in top 4. They are and that is Damo, Charlie, and Michal. Did anyone not put Liverpool in? 1. Matthew, who you don't see often on stream, but Matt, who set up LFC Transfer Room, he went for Arsenal, Aston Villa, Man City, Man United. Liverpool not to finish in the top 4. So if you're ever wondering, supporting the channel, stuff like that, the person behind it doesn't think much of us. The majority top 4 prediction was Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Man U. So Neil, you weren't miles away. The majority of people went for Man U to be in there, as crazy as that was. It gets more interesting when we start to look at relegation and what people selected for relegation. Now, again, I'll start off with me. Relegated, I went Luton, nailed it. Sheffield United, nailed it. Wolves, fluffed it. But I think I went with Wolves because I was thinking Lopetegui was going at that moment. It was all going thing. I just thought that had imploded. I didn't think Gary O'Neill would come in and do so well. So there was logic to it. It's just they really have turned it around, didn't they? They really did turn it around quite well. Let's go, Jay. You said Luton, Notts Forest, and Sheffield United, so you weren't a million miles away.
Yeah, close enough. There's always usually one that comes up that stays up, isn't there? So I think I was trying to be a smart ass and it backfired with one person.
Kev went with Luton, Nottingham Forest, and Everton.
Yeah.
More out of hope than expectation.
No, it was due to the level of severity of the points deductions I was expecting, and unfortunately, it didn't materialize, and that was due to the fact how poor the 3 that came up with. So 1 out of 3, I'm happy with that.
Got to say,
and yes, Damo, he did. Newcastle above United.
No, you're right there, Jake. It's nice to, Dice has done a decent job keeping them up, like, so, especially under that kind of severity. So
it should be 11th. It's insane.
So would they get to 11th if they didn't have the pressure of the points deduction that galvanised them all?
Yeah. Next season, we'll be looking at City and Chelsea being in the relegation zone, won't we?
And Leicester as well, because don't they get a point deduction if they come up as well?
Yeah. So there's the bottom 3 next year: Leicester, Man City, and Chelsea.
Decent odds on all them. You get about 25 to 1 on City at the minute, 33 to 1 on Chelsea.
Yeah.
Neil, you went with Fulham as your outside. Luton, Sheffield United, and Fulham.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think I thought that they would struggle to. Was it this season that Mitrovic went?
He went to Saudi, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that was the reason that I thought that they would struggle. I thought they'd struggle to get goals, but then Jimenez got a few goals first half of the season, and then Muniz did really well second half of the season. So, but I think that was the logic behind it.
Now, some random, let's name and shame while we're here. No, that's what we're here for. 2 people went for Bournemouth. Nathan and Michal. Bournemouth to get relegated.
That
One person
too
went
far
Crystal...
away, though, was it? So sorry to insult that wouldn't have been too far away because Arela didn't start that well, did he, with Bournemouth, and they were near the bottom for majority, even though he got them out of it. Like,
one person said Crystal Palace. Obviously, they turned it around spectacularly as well, but that was Drew. Thinks Palace would have gone down. Obviously, Palace finished 10th. So
did Drew have Arsenal to go down as well?
Did you say Drew? Yeah. He hates them, doesn't he, lads? That's before they were good as well.
One person had Fulham, Luton, Sheffield United. And also, where's Dave? I know Damo had Brentford. Brentford, Bournemouth, and Luton. There we go. And you were saying not too far away, 16th, 39 points. Most Premier League seasons, they haven't broken the magic 40. Ivan Toney didn't really come back with a bang, did he, Neil? He kind of came back with a whimper.
Well, he started okay, didn't he? He scored in that first game, and I think he got 3 or 4 goals in the first 4 or 5 matches. But then he struggled, and then he was on the bench for a few games, but hasn't really shown the form that you'd expect from his, how he's performed in the past. And I think his price tag was being talked at 70, 80 million. I think I've now seen it talked down to sort of 30, 40 million. So I'm not sure he'll get a big move now, but I could be wrong.
Do you reckon that's a reflection of his betting form rather than his actual form in the Premier League? Couple of big wins and then falls off the wayside and
yeah, it's probably bet he won't score for 10 games, lad.
Well, yeah, exactly.
He's got to make up those lost earnings somehow, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is he in the England squad? I didn't see.
He is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Taking him just for pens, I reckon.
Yeah.
He'll get kicked out.
You think?
Yeah, he won't last.
Now, do any of you remember who Premier League Player of the Season was? Phil Foden, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Nobody predicted Phil Foden. I can tell you that. Not a single one of us predicted Foden. The most standard responses were Salah, Haaland, De Bruyne, and Trent got 2 or 3 votes. In terms of people, Neil, you went with Odegaard. I think he had a pretty good second half of the season. It was a lot better. You know, when Arsenal went on that run, I think.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player, I think.
I could see why that would be because I think if Arsenal had got it, it'd have been in and running for player of the season. I think if he'd have got them over the line.
Probably, I think they probably would have gone for Rice, wouldn't they? But Odegaard was close behind, I think.
Jay, you went with Trent.
Yeah, I thought I did. I thought I remembered that. To be fair, lad, before his injury, I think he would have been in with a shout. Thought he was brilliant before he got his knock. Obviously, if you finish fourth, it's very unlikely you're going to have player of the season unless they do something insane numbers-wise. So,
Kev, you went De Bruyne.
And I think if
injury as well, isn't it?
Yeah. If that injury, he would have been in contention. I think. I don't think he would have won it, but you know, you saw what he done when he came back after that injury. Just ridiculous, the player he is, and it's hard not to go against him. Sadly, but yeah, I think his body's catching up to him now. Decent shout at the start of the season. I couldn't foresee he was going to be out for like 15 weeks or so.
We're predicting, I think everyone apart from Neil, because I picked Salah, and obviously Salah came back from AFCON, should have known AFCON, 144 minutes per goal as opposed to his usual 90. Should have planned that one. But also injuries as well, isn't it? You know, I think the one in the reckoning is Neil's, and he's the one that's not been injured. But some crazy shouts in here. So I think we need to name and shame.
Enlighten this.
Go on. Name dropped though. I want to know who these are.
Yeah.
Damo. Give a guess. Player of the season.
Tonali. I don't know.
He defo said Tonali for something. Defo. Might have been signing of the season.
Gakpo.
Oh. Back end of last season, though, Gakpo was class.
Yeah.
Now, secret Arsenal fan in LFC Transfer Room, as I keep referring to them, predicted Saliba as player of the season. And any of you don't know, that is Mihal, as I keep referring to, secret Arsenal fan, mainly because when we did this prediction, all his positive guesses were Arsenal players, every single one. And then Matty went with Dominic Szoboszlai as player of the season. Everyone else, De Bruyne, Haaland, Salah, the standard. Where we go to next, and I've just read mine for this, which is an absolute shocker. Next, we're going to look at young player of the season.
I remember these.
Oh,
I remember mine, not other people's.
I went with Cameron Archer.
Who?
James, what was that based on, lad? I need to know the thought process behind that one.
I thought because he'd gone to Sheffield United, but he was at Villa at the time, wasn't he? And I thought he was going to come through. I thought he was going to. Like, I didn't think Watkins would do what Watkins did. I thought pacey attacker, Diaby, Bailey. I thought Cameron Archer will come through, be that attacker, and I think this will be his emergence, and he'll claim young player of the season. I was massively wrong, like crazily wrong. This is one of the stupidest things I think I've ever done. But I'm owning up to it. So there we go.
Fair play, lad. Yeah, you first up.
Okay, you can't see these results. I can. I could have said anything.
Yeah. Fair play.
You said Saka too obvious, Jay.
Yeah,
you did 2 players.
Yeah, even Ferguson and then Cisco.
No, the 2.
And Cisco got injured, so like all season. So obviously he doesn't count, and pretty much the same with even Ferguson, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, after he really declared himself for Ireland, he became a really strong Irish player of not scoring any goals, and they had to play Danny Welbeck, didn't they?
Yeah. Stay.
Neil, can you remember yours?
I can't.
Saka.
Oh, okay.
You went safe. And Kev went for Haaland. Is Haaland still classed as a young player?
I think he is, isn't he? Just
You're not allowed that, Kev.
23, is it? Or something? Yeah.
Expect more from Kev.
I'll be honest, I just couldn't be asked thinking or looking at another player, so I just thought he's close enough to what I want. So there you go, bang.
Did anyone go with Jarell Quansah?
No, but they might have gone for them when they went for Liverpool player that breaks through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there is a couple of
something.
those. One person went for Cole Palmer.
Oh, fair play,
shout
was that?
lad.
That was Drew Ross.
Drew?
Cole
Drew,
Palmer,
right.
the only person to call it.
It's interesting, Palmer. His emergence reminds me a bit of Sturridge. Was at a big club, wasn't really getting much of a look in, came to us and was electric. And I think he's been fantastic, Palmer.
I mentioned Palmer like a season or so ago, but I didn't think he'd break in the Chelsea squad. I just thought it was going to be one of them where he spent 50 million, left him the way City did, because I've always been impressed by Palmer, but I didn't think he'd have the season he's had. Like,
unreal.
Yeah, brilliant.
Some of them, two people went for Lavia, which was Colin and Harmony.
He'd have 30 minutes. He'd have done well to get the award in that. I think he had one substitute appearance, didn't he? And that was it.
Demo went for Alvarez, saying as you're on chat. That's actually not a bad shout. You had a decent season.
Who was that? Sorry, Alvarez.
Yeah.
I always find him a little bit underwhelming, to be honest. You read when he was in Argentina, he was like banging in goals for fun. I'm not saying he's not a decent player. He had a very good World Cup, but he's a little bit underwhelming for me.
But isn't that also the fact the way City play? It's a bit like Doku's there as well.
Yeah.
The fiery player that he is, and you don't really give those flair players the opportunity to do the stuff, and they hindered the minutes that they have, and it's hard for them when they do come on to do anything that they're good at.
Don't have a proper role, do they?
No.
Now, one person went for Emile Smith-Rowe, which was Stephen.
He was brilliant though before his injury, to be fair. I really liked Smith-Rowe before he got that injury. He was a top player.
And Charlie went for Gvardiol, who I think came back at the back end of the season, but had a shocking first half of the season. And then we move on to Premier League top scorer.
Yeah.
Everyone went Haaland.
Everyone must have said that.
I bet I did. I probably went for Nunes.
Two people went for Nunes.
Steve did.
Steve had to go for Nunes.
Matty. And that was it.
What?
Yeah, only two went for.
I'm gonna message Steve.
Darwin. The rest, it was between Mo and Erling. Me, you, Neil, went for Salah, I think. Jay, you went for Haaland. Where is Kev? You went Mo as well, Kev.
Oh, did I go Mo? Did I?
Yeah, me, you, and Neil went Mo. We were in the minority. But yeah, two went Darwin Nunes. I'll tell you what, if he'd have scored his big chances, he may well have been in a shout, but obviously he didn't. Sablet publishing on Instagram, we will fight for hell next season, so presumed he's staying. I mean, that it does sound like a staying statement. I've said pretty much every week I think he's going to leave. I think I say it every week. I'm pretty certain Salah will leave. I have no basis for that other than I think he will leave. Paul Lindo will tell me that, he won't. I just think he will. and some people thinking Trent will leave.
Yeah, I to be honest, out of both of them, I think more Trent may go than actual Salah. Myself, it sounds defiant from Salah, and I haven't heard that kind of defiant kind of call to arms since the Madrid one where he done a shouldering. So for me, I think Salah's going to stay unless Slot has other ideas. Trent's the only other one until he signs that contract, which I don't think he will, to be honest. But then I'd do a swap for Tchouaméni if we could. Sorry to damp everyone.
I don't think. This is the thing. I just can't picture a Liverpool team without him in it.
You can't, but everything's pointing to it. You know what I mean? And his best mate's there as well. And I think there will become a time where he will go. I hope he signs a contract and he's there for as long as possible. But I do get the feeling that his eyes might be looking over and with a glee of jealousy. But who knows? I'm basing that on nothing, by the way. So
Oh, don't get me wrong. If you've got Mbappe, Haaland, and Vinny Jr. running at full pace, and you've got Trent's passing ability, you're like, well, this is going to be easy, isn't it? You just ping it wherever you want. But I don't know. Some saying after he cried on, I think he was just upset that Klopp was leaving. There's that interview, isn't there, Neil, where he's just like, I'm just really sad it's over. This is the guy that's made me. It's just I don't get emotional, etc., etc. But
that's the only manager that he's really had. I don't count Gareth Southgate. And I think he was
manager.
I don't think anyone does.
He, other players, and a lot of the stadium were
Southgate make a good Chelsea manager. He's a yes man, isn't he?
You find your man, lad.
But yeah, I think I don't think that was anything to do with it. I think he was just emotional because of the Klopp situation, and I think the whole stadium would have been. But Klopp kind of came out in a very jovial mood, which I'm not sure I was expecting. I was expecting him to be quite cut up, but he showed his qualities as a person, that he managed to lift everyone while everyone was feeling, a little bit emotional. So I'm pretty sure Trent's issue was the Klopp situation and not anything to do with his own future. The way I look at it is he's 25. I don't think he needs to make any drastic decision now. He's just been made vice captain of the club. He's likely to be a future captain, so there's no rush to move on. He'll have opportunities in 2, 3, 4 years' time. So no need to make a rash decision.
Trillers makes a good point. Trent gets a lot of stick. Madrid will appreciate him. He won't get the same level of scrutiny in
you won't be
British media.
Basically, are brutal.
They are, but they focus on the attackers quite a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
They do, yeah, but even still, like Roberto Carlos used to get like phones thrown at him and stuff. Genuine, Roberto Carlos got it bad at Madrid. I know he's obviously not an attacker, but like if you're going to turn on a player who's done what he's done, then anyone's up for getting it. The thing about Trent is, I agree with what Neil said. I said months ago I was worried about Trent going to Madrid. I just had a weird feeling because of his relationship with Bellingham and the team that they're building. But Trent's only got a year left. And like Neil said, he hasn't got to make a rash decision. He could easily sign a 2-3 year deal, give Slot a season. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, he can still go Madrid. Madrid are always going to be interested in Trent. Any normal team would be, wouldn't he? So I'm not reading too much into the tears.
Yeah, a team that can have that level of it has to be a team that can be dominant, because if it's a defensive focused team, obviously you lose quite a lot of Trent's ability. You need that just sort of quick transition, dominance, spread the ball, spread the play type team. So Madrid's perfect. I think Bayern would be perfect. Not that you don't want to go to Bayern when Kane's there, because obviously you're not going to win anything. But
who's your manager going to be?
Now, next on the list, do any of you remember who you picked for Premier League signing of the season?
Yeah.
I think I picked McAllister, I think.
Yeah, I think I did.
I went with Szoboszlai for signing of the season. Cameron Archer. No, Szoboszlai for signing of the season. Neil, you went with McAllister.
Macca,
Do you know what? I think it's probably a fair shout, isn't it, in terms of signing? Probably Declan Rice is the one that I think most will give it to, but I think it's definitely in the conversation, isn't it, Alexis McAllister?
Yeah, it's
It's
interesting.
impact or value, innit?
Yeah.
Impact and price.
Yeah. You look at him and Soboslai. If you'd have watched the first 10 games, everyone would have said, oh, Soboslai.
Yeah.
But then he fell off a cliff, didn't he? And McAllister wasn't great for the first half of the season, but after the new year, he was outstanding.
Yeah, I think Kudus has been one of the signings of the season. I don't think anyone predicted him. Jay, you went with McAllister or Elise if he goes. God, you're a hedge bet kind of guy, aren't you?
Love me football.
And Kev, you went with McAllister.
Yeah. I think as Jay said, the whole round package, the fact how much you were spending on him, it was just ridiculous for a World Cup player to be getting someone of his quality for 35 million. As a numerous of players, can play the 6, can play the 8, can play the 10 if you ask him to as well. Quality player, and scored some belter goals for us this season.
Now, I will say 2 people called probably Declan Rice's signing of the season, which is a secret Arsenal fan, Mihal.
But it went through.
And Matt, who runs LFC Transfer Room, he picked it as well. There are 2 outrageous picks. Tonali.
Yeah,
that was Nemo.
That's Nemo.
And Lavia.
Lavia.
The signing of the season, which was Tico.
Tico, was he? Oh,
yeah. Couple went for Gvardiol, who I don't think's a bad shout. Moussa Diaby was Charlie Webb. That's a good shout for me. I think he had a decent season. He could have been signing the season.
Was this only his first season?
I thought it was his second,
Yeah, I felt like Diaby's already been there.
Yeah.
No, it's Bailey that was there for a year.
I know Bailey was. Yeah, I don't know why I thought Diaby was as well.
Now, flop of the season.
Oh, I can't remember for that.
I think I know.
Kev, who did you go with? Nkuku.
There you go. I think he is, because he hasn't had, the injuries haven't helped. The money that was paid for him.
He was a solution to everything, wasn't he?
He was and wasn't. So, yeah.
Some divvy wanted him badly last summer.
Now,
used to come on here apparently.
Did he?
Fella.
Works nights.
Would it surprise you if I told you that Jay had hedged his bets and given me 2 answers to this question as well?
It wouldn't surprise me. I thought it would have been 3 or 4 myself personally, but
I said, did I say Grealish again? Mom.
Mount and Onana.
Oh, Mount and that. Oh, lad, see, I'm having that. I'm having
that.
I'm having that for that price for Onana. And Mount,
That first half by Onana was a shocker, and that's who you went for, Neil, as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, he has improved as the season's gone on.
Yeah, he has.
I think they've not got him playing as a sweeper keeper anymore. He only goes forward in certain moments, and I think it helps his game, because I don't think he's good at going back and forth.
No.
Is he still conceding goals?
Probably.
To be fair, he concedes more shots than
I know.
You know what I mean?
10 times more shots per game.
Yeah, it's insane, the numbers they've had.
I don't believe he's a top keeper.
No.
But he did improve, so hopefully they'll stick with him and he'll be just as bad at the start of next season.
Well, there's a question for chat and for you guys. Do you think, obviously, because Ten Hag is up for the chop as well, I believe he's done now. I don't think it's been confirmed yet, but I think everyone's sort of, the rumours are that he's doing it. If a new manager comes in, Are they really going to want to stick with Onana?
It is another one. Are they going to stick with Rashford? I can see Rashford going as well myself.
DiMaggio said Ten Hag was going before,
Mm.
so I don't know if that holds any weight. Like, but DiMaggio is usually quite reliable.
It's just something's not quite thing, and I think the players that he trusted in, Ten Hag, your Antonys, your Onanas, they've just not been good, have they?
Well, it's the fact that you, at the end of the window, you go back to your club that you were at to bring in a player for well over the odds, nearly 100 million, to redeem that Mount. I thought if you could have got him for about 30 million at the start of the season, I would have been tempted, but he's not good enough. He's just not. He isn't a player. But that's the worst thing about it is the best keeper that they had. They could have got back on a free transfer in the game.
Is De Gea even playing for anyone at the moment?
No, he's still free, and he won the Golden Glove the year before, which I just found baffling. That you completely take them away, but
you blame them. You blame the man. You can blame the manager, but who's in charge of the business there? Because Casemiro being given a 5-year deal at 30 of age, when you could see for Real Madrid his legs were going, and he did all right last season. Got some important goals for them, but a 5-year deal for him, £70 million, is horrendous.
It's crazy though, but that's United though, isn't it? United have always done these kind of stupid deals, and it's kind of worrying when, to some fans of us, that Slot makes a similar error and goes back and brings in players from Feyenoord, which I'm hoping we don't do, and I don't think Edwards will allow it. But you always feel with United, there's always a drama somewhere on that pitch, whether it's in midfield, whether it's up front. Is Martial still there? Is he on like a Todd Bowley fucking contract? Has he got like 8 years or something like that? It's ridiculous. But it needs to be looked at though, doesn't it? You know what I mean? There's loads of players on different wages there, and it's just
in the stadium as well when it was raining.
Yeah.
Has been making some crazy claims there, rolling around everywhere. Yeah,
defo.
It's got a vision now, Jay, like standing under the waterfall, like doing
Well,
can't
the Newcastle fans didn't want turn up with underwater gear on and a snorkel and all like that.
You need to next season.
But they're starting
unless they convince the government to pay for a new stadium.
Yeah. They're starting to get after Ratcliffe now, aren't they? There's noises coming out, reports coming out that they don't think he knows what he's doing. So just constant circle of negativity.
It's I just love it. Keep it going.
I do. Gosh, one may continue.
Now, guys, do you remember which young player will break into the Liverpool team? Now, the majority of people,
Connor Bradley,
said the same one, which was Ben Doak.
Oh, did we?
Not all of us. Some Neil said Doak. I said Doak. Jay, you said probably there's about 3 or 4.
Yeah, I was going to say cover all base in it.
All the under 18s and all the 21. So
you actually wrote Doak because you consider Badge first team already.
Well, yeah.
The one who went different, and the one who I think probably got it most right, is Mr. Kev with Connor Bradley.
Well done, lad. I didn't see him playing at all this season.
To be honest, I thought with the amount of European games that he'd be playing and domestic games, don't get me wrong, the Trent injury plays into that as well. So yeah, it was just a guess, to be honest. There was no substance to it, but I just thought he would get more game time and could get into a few league games as well, possibly.
He'd had a really good season at Bolton as well, though, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Player of the season and everything, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And like I know a lot of non-Liverpool supporters are like, "Oh, where'd you get this Conor Bradley from?" But he'd like been capped 10 or 12 times at international level before he'd even made a start for us, hasn't he? So
yeah,
he's a quality player. Doak in the Scotland squad, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah. He was a bit underwhelming this year, I thought, when he played, just to be controversial.
It's his final product, isn't it?
Yeah. I came off at the start of the season. He played really well in pre-season, and I was expecting him just to like burst into the first team and have a massive impact. And I'd say now I'm more excited about Jayden Danns than I am about Ben Doak, but we will see.
I think with Doak, it all depends how he comes back from injury. Any form of hamstring, knee, something like that, at key development stages. That's why I think Bajcetic hasn't been around all season, because you can't take a risk with that, because at that sort of age, 18 to 20, you rip something, tear something whilst your body's growing and stuff like that. It can be catastrophic. So I think the club have done well with Bajcetic to keep him away. I think they're probably going to have to do something similar with Doak and sort of slow his development down. But for a player like him, it's all about his pace, and does he come back with the same pace and intensity? Now, we do need to give a shout out to Harmony, who I think actually got the number one player to break into the Liverpool first team, which was Kwanzaa. He actually got it wrote down.
Shout that.
I've never seen that, to be fair, beginning of the season.
Which is a cracker of a selection. Now we go back to the surprise package of the Premier League. Most responses are for Villa. I said Villa. Yeah. Neil, you said Villa. Kev said Villa. Jay didn't say Villa. What did Jay say?
I know, man.
The other 19 teams.
Yeah. Fuck off, Kev. I know, man. I remember it.
What's yours?
Wolves.
It was Wolves.
Because, and when you said before, when you mentioned Lopetegui and you had Wolves to go down, that happened the day we done that stream. That's why you had Wolves. When I say surprise package, I weren't expecting them to get in Europe. Just everyone thought they were going to be in a relegation scrap, and I just didn't think that. So that
they finished 14th.
Where?
14th.
Yeah, but they were nowhere near it, was they?
No, they were on 46 points. They were well clear of it. Everton on 40 points.
They were never even in a shout of being relegated.
Like 46, it goes 46, 47, 48, 48, 49. They could have, like, one result, two results, they could have finished 10th.
Exactly.
So mid-table. Now, let's go to some outrageous shouts in this. Surprise package, Burnley.
Charlie.
That's Charlie, Stephen, Tico, Matthew. Brentford, Matty, and Race. Secret Tottenham fan, Mihal, went for... he didn't go for Arsenal. He went for Spurs, which is really interesting. You wouldn't expect that of a...
it's a North London link, though, isn't
it? Yeah. Andrew went for West Ham, which I don't... European-wise, they did well at surprising some of the players. Not Antonio level of confidence, is it, Neil? Where they're saying, we're going to finish above Liverpool. That would have been a surprise.
Yeah, but I think I saw a table yesterday that showed the improvements from last season, and they were like third in the table, because if you remember last season, they had that run in Europe in the Conference League, but they were like almost battling relegation. Yeah. So in terms of points improvement, I think they were about the third best. So, but yeah, not Mikel Antonio type of confidence, as you say. I think they're going to struggle next year, and I think.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
Only because of second ways.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that it's going to be one of those "be careful what you wish for" type things.
Luton didn't sack their manager and they've gone down. Burnley didn't sack their manager and they've gone down. Sheffield United did, didn't they? They brought Thingy back.
Wilder. He's a knob as well.
Tell us what you really think, Jay.
He is. He's a horrible man, him, lad.
But we're just looking at the sack race now. Obviously, quite a few people selected Lopetegui because it was happening. Obviously, he's now at West Ham as they go into the new season. So I think Neil's right; they may struggle.
I rate Lopetegui. You know, I think he'll do well at West Ham.
Their fans are quite difficult. Like they're almost like the Spurs fans, where they'll say, "Oh, it's the West Ham way. We must play football." And whilst Lopetegui is a quality manager and has managed, you know, at the highest level, I'm not sure he'll give them what they want. So
I hate this West Ham way. The West Ham way is going down and coming back up, going down and coming back up until you got David Moyes. That's why I don't understand this whole thing, mate. That's why I want them to go down the West Ham way. The West Ham way is going down.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I know a lot of their supporters, and they all think that they're entitled to this, you know, brilliant style of play.
Laughable.
Now, Kev, you selected first manager gone.
Eddie
you did
Howe.
a J.
Now, the reason why I went with Eddie Howe is I thought I didn't think no one. What?
You picked two.
Oh, did I?
You did a J.
Aye, lad.
Moyes or Howe?
Moyes or Howe? Eddie Howe, it was mainly down to the fact that they were in the Champions League, and I thought that that would have a detrimental effect on their actual league position, and I thought that because of that they would hit the button and get rid of Eddie Howe. Moyes, I thought after winning the Europa, the Conference League or whatever they won, I just thought that the West Ham fans would get above themselves and start expecting, like, you know, we'll be finishing top four next season and have these heights of, well, this is where we are. So there was a bit of logic to it, but that logic obviously fell out the window. So, you know, along with me.
Now, professional fencer JK obviously went for two managers as well.
Here we go.
No. This year I'll make sure it's one for each answer.
And then another one in brackets just in case.
I think Lopetegui's in brackets, isn't it?
Lopetegui or Howe?
Yeah, so it's the same as you, Kev.
Hey.
No, he went Moyes.
Did you say Moyes?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I missed that, sorry.
Neil protested and didn't give an answer.
Which one was this for?
Which manager will get sacked first?
Right.
Just refused to answer the question, obviously.
He
doesn't believe in that.
I'm going to take that as he thought Klopp was going to get fired first.
Yeah. I've just found this table that there's the points difference between last season and this season. Chelsea, 19 points up this season on where they were last season. Us,
they
15.
finished the season well.
They did, yeah. Liverpool, 15 points better off.
Yeah.
West Ham were 12 points better off. At the bottom, Brentford, 20 points worse off. Man United, 15 points worse off. Brighton, 14. And Newcastle, 11. Interesting.
What did what's Arsenal's change? I'm just curious.
+5.
Is that it? I thought it would have been more.
100 million for 5 points. No,
Yeah.
more than that, wasn't it? Because Timber, obviously, he was crocked, but
yeah.
Man City +2.
Didn't need to try as hard, did they? Now, when we go with what will Liverpool win, Jay, obviously you didn't select one, you selected two. You could have selected 5, but you went with 2 because, you know, it's your favourite number. Premier League and Europa.
Is that what I went for, yeah?
I think a lot of people. I think I went for Europa because I just expected it to happen because it's Liverpool and it's the Europa League. I can't really argue with that one. I think I probably did the same. No, I just selected Premier League. There we go. Completely just fed myself a load of bullshit and then said nothing on it. Oh, Cameron Archer's going to haunt me for ages.
Yeah, the way you made me suffer over Dwight McNeil, mate, I'm going to bring that up now for the next, 5 years.
Dwight McNeil is a terrible footballer.
Doesn't matter.
I will stand by that forever.
Does not matter.
Kev,
pivotal to Everton's run.
You went with the League Cup, so you got that right, and the Europa.
Yeah, the Europa. You look at the rankings. I looked at the rankings, the config, and we were miles ahead of everyone. And I'll be honest, I didn't think this Champions League year was as strong as it has been in the past. So I had the feeling that we should have, at least got to the final, at least. But that said, looks as though we've lost to the actual winners. But you know what, Bayer Leverkusen, I like they'll score in the 90th and 98th minute, as they always do.
Yeah.
I think what's like both Atalanta and Leverkusen, I know both played like Champions League knockout teams. Like they should have been in the knockout phase. Like we probably should have been. I think it was one of those where more teams who could do well in the Champions League were in the Europa, because Champions League, apart from Dortmund, who've done really well and played really well, a lot of it seems to have just been paint by numbers for me.
Yeah, it was.
The winner should win, and very few shocks. Neil, you just went Europa League, just straight. We're just going to get a European Cup. We're going to go to Ireland. We'll have a great time.
I think it was the biggest disappointment for me. So whilst we were on for all four at one stage, that was the one that I really thought. I'm not sure I ever felt that we would win the league. I always felt with so many players out that we might come up short. But that was the one that I was probably most disappointed with, because I did, as the lads have said, it's one where we were the best team in the competition and we should have won it, really.
Now, 3 members of LFC Transfer Room are very negative and selected Liverpool to win nothing.
Matt Thielen being one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Nathan and Anthony. Now, if you don't know who Anthony is, he's just recently done an interview. It's live on the channel where they're talking about Arne Slot, and he's got someone that's from Holland, and they're talking about how he's going to be and what he's going to be implement. That Anthony, who does all the design work and all the brilliant stuff on here, thinks Liverpool would win nothing. 2 people said just the League Cup, and that was Stephen and secret Arsenal fan, Michal. Obviously, because he thought Arsenal were going to win everything else.
No way.
2-0 there, boys.
Look, embrace.
Shut up.
No way.
Oh, my God.
Well, he's done well outside of the Premier League. I think he did well.
Yeah, but he wasn't playing much for Atlanta, though. He hasn't been playing, really.
It's one of those,
the Italian teams this year have rocked up in Europe, haven't they? And, have done well.
No one knows how to play against Atalanta the way I've seen it. It seems like man marking, no one knows what to do with it, do they?
Manager's boss as well, he looks like a great laugh, him, Shame about his age.
I know.
But it's one of those, isn't it? It's just styles of football come through. So, like, gang press and all that, and then suddenly, like, man marking, everyone stops doing it, everyone's on, and suddenly man marking comes back, and it just creates chaos because no one's planned for it. And it's just that Italian defensive style of football really hasn't been a thing in any of top European leagues for a while. So when someone gets it right, I think, again, they'll smash it, because Napoli was successful with more gang press than Italian defensive man for man, in my opinion. But we will see. So there we have it. I don't think we were too bad, generally speaking, as a LFC transfer room, apart from a couple of Darwin Núñez top scorers.
Who were they again, James? Sorry.
The Darwin Núñez top scorers? I can tell you.
I can't believe it's not Stay.
Chad and Matty Arms. And Matty only predicted Liverpool to win the Premier League, as opposed to everything, which is what he always picks.
That's if I went, Matty.
He had little Leo on his way, didn't he? So that was taking his mind. So sound.
Put some respect and pronounce it correctly. I didn't think that I'd mispronounced your name, secret Arsenal fan. I thought I'd nailed that.
Yeah, you'll have to send a voice note. Just call him Wenger from now on, or Arsene.
Arsene, yeah.
There you go. That's what he meant, I think. I think that's what he was getting at.
So there you have it. I don't think we've done too bad as a LFC Transfer Room in our predictions. Obviously, once again, we will do it again beginning of the season and make a tit of ourselves. I will not be selecting Cameron Archer for any awards next year. I can guarantee you that. It'll be tricky to select where Liverpool are going to be when they go through a new manager, a new coaching staff, new automatic types of play. So it will be fun to see how many of us get it right and how many of us get it wrong. And we may even run a fan poll as well so that we can see how well you do in terms of making predictions and see if you can do better than us. But this has been LFC Transfer Room. Thank you very much to Neil, Jay, and professional fence sitter, JK.
I'll only pick one next time.
Honest.
Promise.
We go. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We go live 7:30 every day, catching up with all Liverpool transfer news. But this has been catching up on our Premier League predictions, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.